Thanks for joining us today. We are at Travis Air Force Base. It is the 75th anniversary of the base being in Fairfield, so we thought it only fitting that we come and talk about the Travis Heritage Center here on the base with Rick Shea, who is the director of the center. Hi Rick, thanks for joining me.
Absolutely, my pleasure. We've been in this location for about 35 years now. It's the home of the former commissary. We focus on the history of Travis Air Force Base and the 60th Air Mobility Wing, which in the case of the 60th sometimes takes us back to Germany. We've got the Berlin Airlift, and then we have a Tuskegee Airmen exhibit, which I think is vitally important to our young airmen here. Our Fat Man exhibit, that was the bomb that was dropped in Japan at the end of World War II. That's probably the #1 draw here.
Tell me a little bit about you and how you got to be a part of this.
I started my career right here back in late 1975, December of 75, and as a young airman, first duty assignment fresh out of tech school, and I was here until 1980. Did not want to leave here. I've always loved Travis Air Force Base. I don't know what it is about Travis, but there's just something that attracts me and draws me, interests me. So I did my 20 years in the Air Force, active duty, and I went civil service, got a job with civil service in the History and Museums program with the Army, transitioned over into the Air Force, and then lo and behold, the vacancy came up when here at Travis. Had always wanted to come back to the Bay Area, and here I am.
What does it mean to Fairfield to have something like this right in our own backyard?
I think it's important that we have something like this to help our counterparts, civilian counterparts, understand what it is we do here at the base to help them better accept the jet noise in the middle of the night, or accept, the mass movement of GIs coming in, influx into their town, and we tell the story of the 60th Air Mobility Wing. We get a lot of folks from downtown, Fairfield, Vacaville, some of them veterans, some of them not. We get a lot of out-of-towners. Surprisingly, we get a lot of foreign visitors. They come out and spend a day out here.
If you only had about an hour to spend, what exhibits would you recommend?
We just opened a new exhibit that I'm hoping someday becomes the most popular, and that's Operation Homecoming. It was the operation where we brought back our POWs from Vietnam here to Travis Air Force Base. This is the 45th anniversary year of their return, so I think that's vitally important. I would spend some time in the Berlin Airlift. It's an important exhibit because it shows through pictures the backbreaking work these guys did to keep that city alive, to provide them with the coal and the food items that they needed to sustain life. And right around the corner from that, I'd spend some time at our aerial port exhibit because it shows them what's replaced that backbreaking work, these things called K-loaders. And that was as a result of General Tunner, who kind of orchestrated the Berlin Airlift. So, and then of course looking at the statics outside.
Can you tell me a little bit about the planes around us? The oldest plane, the biggest plane?
I think the biggest plane we can't see from here, but it's a C-133, and it's probably the strangest airplane because it had no testing period. It went straight from production to operation, and it was designed to haul Titan missiles at the time. We had nothing large enough to haul Titan missiles. So the oldest airplane, we've got this A-26 right in front of you and I that was a World War II vintage aircraft, as is a C-56 that we've got back here. So we've got several from World War II. We have a B-29, which everybody knows the B-29 for the Enola Gay is the airplane that General Robert Travis perished in. Base name change from Fairfield Suisun Army Air Force Base to Travis Air Force Base.
Oh, okay.
The things you see out here in the air park, these are maintained by volunteers. The exhibits that are inside, they're maintained and built and torn down by volunteers. So yeah, we're always in need of volunteers, and we welcome all. And we train. Call us at 424-5883.
Okay.
Or they can come to the Visitor Center and tell the people behind the desk at the Visitor Center they'd like to come to the Heritage Center, and they will cut a visitor's pass for them, and we will come pick them up. I invite everyone to come out and see us. We are, in fact, the best kept secret within Solano County, I would guess, I would surmise. So please come out and see us. And if we can pique your interest and convince you to volunteer, you're more than welcome.
I really appreciate you and your time. I can't wait to get into the museum and look at all the different exhibits. This is Whitney Skillman with Channel 26. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time somewhere in your city.